thought we would make a really, really fun drawing of a creature that we've probably all seen pictures of, even if we've never seen it in person. And that creature is going to be a red-eyed tree frog, which is native to Central and South America, so not here in Florida, though we do have many tree frogs. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This looks a little tough, but you know what? Art is about exploring, making mistakes, and having fun making those mistakes. It's not about perfection. So let's have fun making this drawing. Don't worry about it being perfect, and if anything, a frog is the perfect animal to make a little wonky because they kind of look a little wonky and a little bit derpy and a little bit monstrous. So, when we make this drawing, we're going to be thinking of a few elements of art and principles of design more than anything else. I really want to talk today about something called contrast. Contrast is when things really pop next to each other. They really are so different that they stand out. Whoopsies, I don't want to rename that. So to create contrast with our frog, we're going to be using two elements of art. We're going to be using our knowledge of color and value. Value is light to dark. You see I put this black background, and the dark background really helps this froggy to pop. And then I have my color wheel here. You're not going to draw a color wheel in your drawing, but I put my color wheel in my drawing to remind you how colors relate to one another. They call it a wheel because it goes around when you lay it in a circle like this. And the rainbow goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet or purple. Now, the reason we're going to have contrast with color is because if you look at red for our red-eyed tree frog, right across or opposite from red is green. They are called complementary colors or color opposites. So red and green are so different that when you put them next to each other, they're really vibrant, they really pop, they have great contrast. Across from blue, its complementary color or color opposite is orange. So this red-orange on this frog next to the blue really has good contrast. It really pops when you put red and green next to each other and orange and blue next to each other. Now if I put yellow and purple, I'd have some more color opposites, but red-eyed tree frogs just simply don't have yellow and purple. Anywho, without further ado, let's make a really fun froggy drawing using color and value, light and dark, to create really good contrast, which brings emphasis to your art. Emphasis is making someone's eye go right to certain something in your artwork, and we want our viewer's eye to go right to our froggy friend. So, let's get started. I found this really awesome photo of a tree frog online, and he's just so cute, and that's the picture I copied. A lot of time artists have what they call a reference photo, and a reference photo is a picture that an artist can look at to help them understand how to draw something. So I'm going to go ahead and create, another layer. I'm going to draw on top of my old layer because I'm being lazy today. You just grab a piece of paper and stand it nice and tall. You want a nice tall paper for this. Not wide because we want lots of tall space for our drawing. Now the very first thing you're going to do, whether you're on paper or clicky.com, and remember on Clicky, if you want a new paper, you click this white paper, new image, click portrait, that's what makes the paper stand tall, and then you would click OK. I'm drawing on top of my old drawing, so I'm going to leave it. Now I want you to grab your pencil tool and start pretty high up on the page. We are going to be drawing the two leaves that the froggy is sitting on first. So don't overthink it. Start kind of up here on the left side and go whee. There's one side to one leaf, and then that other leaf is not as high up. So we're going to put a little leaf going over and kind of overlapping behind that leaf. So we did one big line curving over off the page this way, and then one from here over and up. Don't overthink it. If your lines aren't exactly like mine, that's a-okay and totally fine. Now for Mr. Froggy. And you can see my other drawing underneath this one kind of peeking through. You can see how we want the shapes to fill up the page. We want still lots of space up here for that black night sky. Lots of frogs are nocturnal, meaning they come out at night. So I thought it might be fun to put a dark background back there. I know at my house, when I am going out at nighttime, I usually see the little froggies at night in the summer here. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is near the top of this leaf, I'm going to go over and up a bit and put an oval. That oval is going to be his big, bulging red eye. And if yours is not the same size or exactly the same shape, who cares? Don't worry about it. From this little oval here, I want to draw his little eyelid. We all have eyelids. Frogs have these big eyes that sit on top of their head, so their eyelid's much larger than ours looks, even though they're much smaller. So from that oval, I'm going to start at the middle of the oval and curve up and over. So I've got his eye and his eyelid just kind of floating in space right now. Now I need the top of his head. Boop, 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 boop. And it's a little lumpy and bumpy anyways. Don't feel like you need to be perfect. So from this eyelid over here, I'm going to start about here. And I'm going to go lumpy, bumpy, bumpy over a little bit. Now if you go too far, he'll just have a really wide head. If you go too small, you'll just have a really skinny frog head. It's okay. Listen, drawing is an adventure, and sometimes, I like some drawings more than others. Just try it. Don't be afraid to try. All right, so we've got an eyeball, an eyelid. We've got the top of his noggin or his head over here. Now we need to draw the other eyelid and the other oval for his other eye. And we do want them to be about the same size, but they don't need to be perfect. So I'm going to come over about the same height. I'm going to go over and up with a little bump going this way. And then just like this side has a bump and an oval, I've got my bump and oval. Look at my frog. He looks so grumpy and angry. My first frog didn't look angry. He doesn't look so angry. Mine looks like he's saying, "What? What do you want?" Now I'm going to draw his insides of his eye, his pupils. Now a frog's pupil, at least this frog's pupil, is a slit pupil, meaning it's not round like ours is. Kind of looks like a cat eye. So I'm going to go ahead and put that fun diamond shape inside his eye. It makes him look kind of creepy, but cute and funny. Look at him. Oh, what a grumpy little frog. I'm even going to color those in black right away because he has black pupils like we do. Pupils are the part of the eye that lets the light in. Now, speaking of light, all creatures, like frogs, like humans, like cats, like dogs, we have wet eyes. Our eyelids, when they blink, put moisture on our eyes. And that moisture makes our eye very shiny. And you can see the light reflecting on his eye. To make an eye look really 3D and realistic, you could draw the highlight or the shiny part of the eye. Just 2 little circles on his eye where we'll leave it white when we color, and it just looks shiny. Awesome, we've got 2 grumpy frog eyes, or maybe your frog looks happy. Mine looks grumpy. Now we need his funny little froggy face. So from under this eye, we're going to make a little wrinkle, and then we're going to come over kind of straightish with a little smile. So I'm going to bump down for a little wrinkle. Oop. And then I'm going to come over, wee, and you can bump down a little bit, and then up a little bit, and then a little smile. Stop your smile under that other eye. Don't go too far. Actually, I might have gone too far, so I'm going to show you again. I made a little bump, and I'm going to go kind of straightish with a little bump down, and then kind of over and up with a little smile, stopping under that eye. Oh my gosh, what a cutie. Alrighty. Now he's got the side of his head and his body over here, so I'm going to do 2 bumps. From the side of this eye, I'm going to go bump over down, and then 1 more bump, bump over down. They're kind of just floating there for now. I'm going to leave lots of space to draw this big, funny-looking froggy arm. So, leave that alone for now. We've got a mouth, we've got 2 eyeballs, we've got his funny little eyelids, we've got his lumpy, bumpy head. You can give him 2 nostrils, boop, boop, to breathe through. Oh my gosh, he's too cute. You could give him a wrinkle or 2 under his eye. Wrinkle, wrinkle. You can give him a little nose wrinkle. Wrinkle, wrinkle. Oh my gosh, he's too cute. He is cracking me up. Alrighty. Now I'm going to start actually with this froggy hand. Most of his arm is hidden behind his body back here, and then his elbows up here, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm coming up to see you." So let's put his funny, look at these toes. This red-eyed tree frog has what we call suction cup toes. His suction cup toes help him grip onto surfaces that we wouldn't normally be able to grip on. We don't have suction cup feet or fingers, but these suction cup fingers let him climb up walls, climb up trees, climb up leaves. Super cool. It's almost like a superpower. Now I'm going to start his hand from about the middle of his eye here, and I'm just going to bump over and over, 2 little bumps, to just make it not look like his hand is so perfect. He's got all these little lumpies and bumpies there. So bump, bump onto that leaf. Now don't overthink these fingers. Look at them. They're wobbly, they're wavy. The one thing I would say to really make sure you do is make sure his fingers are wider than the rest of his, the fingertips are wider than the rest of his finger. His finger is skinny, and then he's got these big fat suction cups. Boop, boop, boop. And we see 3 toes here, but I will say the tree frog has 4, but one of them is hidden back here, so you can kind of see on this one. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one's kind of wrapped around the leaf. So you could draw 3, or you could draw 4. But from here, I'm going to go over, suction cup out and in. Oopsies, there's the bell. And then down, suction cup out and in, and over. Woo, suction cup out and in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And you know what? I'm just going to put the hint of another one over there. I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go wee, hiding around that leaf. Maybe you're doing the same thing. Maybe you're not. Don't worry if your foot doesn't look like mine. My goodness. Look, this frog that I drew before, he doesn't look exactly like this one, and that's okay. What I do want to do is grab my eraser and erase the leaf where it is overlapping with his hand, because his hand is in front of the leaf now, so we wouldn't see the leaf where the hand is. So there's one froggy hand. Now, for his other froggy arm, we're going to need a few more shapes, and I don't want you to feel nervous about making this. Again, if it's a little wonky, it'll just look more frog-like, so have fun. Honestly, I've seen some 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders make this drawing. The 1st grade ones were really fun and really cool. So if you're in 1st grade making this drawing and not 5th grade, don't think that you can't do it, because you can. From this bottom bump, come in a little bit. We're going to start here, and we're going to curve over, around, and in. That's going to be his elbow. Over, around, and in. It doesn't go out that far. If you look at his cheek here, it doesn't go out much further than his cheek. It's almost the same distance out. If yours goes out further, no big deal. I'm just pointing out my elbow's only poking out a little bit. Now, he's got this tiny upper arm and this big meaty lower arm. More muscle and bigger shape down here. So we're going to curve from that elbow. We're going to curve, we're going to curve over and down onto that leaf and curve up a bit. That's going to be like his palm of his little pad of his foot or hand here. So we curved over, down, and up. Now, we're going to draw this curve that goes up for the muscle on his forearm. So we're going to not connect it to this line. We're going to come in a bit, and we're going to go up, over, and down onto that leaf. Bam! And then from this line, a little curve for the top arm. Ta-da! Time for his froggy foot. Now remember, have fun with this. Just make sure that his suction cup fingers are a little wider than the rest of his hand. So I'm going to come over, down, bounce out, bounce in. There's a suction cup. I'm going to come up this way now, bounce out, bounce in, suction cup. I'm going to go up this time, bounce out, bounce in, suction cup. Whoop, whoop, and connect. Look how cute he is. I can't take it. Look at his funny, wonky toes. While you're working on your frog arm and fingers, or toes, I don't know what they're called. Are they fingers because they're on the front? Are they toes because he doesn't really have hands? Are they hands? I don't know. I'd have to do some research. I'm just going to erase where his arm and that leaf overlap because, again, his arm is in front of the leaf. I wouldn't see the leaf through the frog. He's not translucent or transparent. Light does not pass through him. There he is. Bam. Again, don't compare your drawing too much to mine. You're making your own drawing. Your arm might be a little different. Your feet might be a little different. And that's a good thing, guys. We are not the same people. We're not going to make the same drawings. Now, he's got a wrinkly, froggy tummy here. So put some weird little wrinkles and folds on his skin. You can give another wrinkle under his mouth. Whee! It kind of looks like lips, to be honest. You can put, oh, and he's got these fun little bumps here. We can show the texture of that frog's tummy by putting little dots on his tummy on our drawing. He's got a couple wrinkles around his arm. Wrinkle, wrinkle. All these wrinkles just make him look more realistic because frogs in real life have this, I don't know, their skin is kind of stretchy. It's got this texture and bumpiness to it in places. I'm going to put some wrinkles on his fingers too. It'll only make him look better. Last thing I'm going to draw is a bent little frog leg poking out. You can kind of see his in the photo, but I wanted mine to really show more. I wanted it to look like he's about to jump at the viewer, the person who's looking at our art. So from this arm, the last thing I'm going to draw is an oval-like shape. I'm going to go over and out and then in and connect to that leaf. So it looks like part of an oval. Over, out, and in. And I'm touching the leaf. Don't overthink that shape either, friends. Make a fun little froggy line. And if you don't want to show the leg, just don't. No need to. I'm going to show the bend in his leg too. So from the middle of the oval, I'm going to go over and up. Over and up. And then I'm going to draw a couple toes wrapping around. Toe, boop. Look, they just look like blobs. Toe. And then I'm just going to erase where they overlap. Now I'm going to do my coloring super quick because this video is pretty long. The drawing was really tricky for this one and it took a while. So I'm going to color really quick because you guys are masters at color and I already know you are. So we were talking about contrast with value and color before. Value is light to dark, so I'm going to start with the blackest black. Bam! Night sky back there. Oopsies, and I meant to put a couple lines on my leaf. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 lines. 1, 2, 3 lines. Show some texture on that leaf. Now for the frog, we know he is a green frog. So I'm going to grab a nice pretty light green and color my froggy mostly green. Now if you're not on Clicky, you can't color him green right away and that's okay. Take your time. Again, I'm on my computer, I can color quick and I don't want this video to be too long. I'm going to pick a darker green for the leaf. If you look, the value of the frog is a light green and the leaf is a darker green. So I'm going to pick a couple deeper, darker greens for my leaf. And maybe I'll even throw in some lighter green lines on the leaf, just like in the photo. Boop, boop. It just looks like shadows and highlights. Hello, lighter color. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Now here's the contrast with color, right guys? He has these red eyes. Well, it's kind of like a red-orange to be honest. And that really pops next to the green because red and green are color opposites. So I'm going to pick a really fun, bright red-orange color. Bam, bam. Look at that contrast. Look, I can't do anything but stare into his eyes. And now I'm going to pick a slightly more orange color. And I'm going to put these fun markings on his toes. Let's see. So he has these red-orange toes.
Good morning, Bryan Bulldogs. It's that time again.
They're going to say beat the bell. I'm sorry you have to hear this.
Come on down for your special treat. I have number 13.
So I am going ahead and I am putting red on his toes. It's almost time for school day to start for me. So let's see. I'm going to put the rest of the orange on his toes. And, oop, I need to put orange on these toes too. That red-orange color, look at him, he's coming to life. Now he has a little bit of blue. He has blue on his leg. Boop. And he has some blue on his arm. And that blue really pops next to that beautiful orange. So I'm going to put some blue on his arm. I'm looking at this photo the whole time too to see where the colors go on him. Or her. Maybe you're making a girl frog. I don't know. Look at these fun colors. I think that's all the blue. And then he has this cream on his belly and a little cream stripe on his arm. So I think that'll be the last bit of color I put, and then I'll call my drawing a day. I've got that beautiful cream. And whether you finish up the color like I am, or you just made the drawing, either way, you did something awesome with your art today. You learned something new. You learned how to draw a frog, and you, I hope, had fun with it. And I hope you're laughing at how silly your frog looks, because mine is kind of making me smile. He looks like he's judging me. He's looking right at me like, what? Go away, lady. Get out of here. I'm going to put some little cream on his face, too. And again, I just want you all to always remember, drawing should be fun. Drawing should be an adventure. You should explore and learn new things. And definitely always think about those elements of art and principles of design. We made a drawing that has lots of contrast, bringing emphasis to our frog. We used opposite colors and dark and light values to make the cutest frog I ever did see. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!